Welcome into Sports Center. Zub Mahente, John Anderson, thanks for having us. We are awaiting the conclusion of Game 1 of the World Series.
Yes.
Braves still playing good baseball. We'll talk about the Packers' lack of receiving personnel. You have not been called yet, correct? While you've been out here? Could be. That's how much it is. We should start with the NBA. What do we got going in there? Because there's a bunch of games we're in full swing. We're in week 2. We're full swing.
Speaking of lack of LeBron James tonight. He's got a gimpy right ankle, sprained ankle, so the Lakers are going to have to do it the hard way on the road against San Antonio, minus James. He played 40 minutes the other night in their first win of the season, but LeBron still dialed in, ready to go. Take a look at the Lakers' record with and without LeBron. Probably not too surprising, but you would think with some of the fortification they have, it wouldn't be that far under 500. So let's see if Russell Westbrook and AD would step up. Davis does. Back and forth game here. We pick it up with under 6 minutes to go, tied at 104. Russ from downtown, Lakers up 3. Spurs have had a really tough start to the season. They played 3 playoff teams, 3 quality teams, counting the Lakers tonight. Jakob Poeltl put San Antonio back up by 1. DeJounte Murray says, hang on a second. San Antonio goes back up 3. He had a triple-double. Malik Monk, one of the off-season additions. Lakers don't have a lot of room to make off-season additions. Small value deals for Monk and Carmelo Anthony and others. It's a 2-point Laker lead. Poeltl misses the free throw, and then Laker Nation holds its breath. Take a look what's going on behind the baseline. Take your eyes off the ball. Right underneath, writhing in pain, is Anthony Davis clutching his right knee. And of course, if Davis is known for anything, it's the brittle nature in which he's played with here in the NBA. Frank Vogel not happy. LeBron obviously concerned, but one good piece of news is that Davis was able to stay in the game. This is Murray to maybe win it at the buzzer. But instead, we're going to overtime, tied at 114, with Popovich lauding his team's character so far this season. This is a very young team. He knows it. In overtime, Westbrook, how is he going to fit in? First few games haven't been great. He had 33, the 2 most ferocious there. Lakers up 6, but give the Spurs credit. Maybe this is the character that Pop was talking about. They will not go away. Looking for Poeltl, slashing, cutting through the lane. He had 27 and 14 boards. We're tied again. Another Laker addition. Bazemore, no. Davis, yes. Lakers back up 2, and then looking to ice it. Ball in the hands of Westbrook. That'll do it. Minus LeBron. Lakers win 125-121. Davis went down, but he also went up for 35 and 17. Russ, 2 dimes short of a triple-double. Every Laker game this season has been decided by 10 or fewer. The longest streak to start a season in 20 years. John, that year they started 3-1, and when it was all over, we're hoisting the Larry O'Connor.
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, Robert Ory, big game, James Worthy, Mike Bresnahan. We got Allie joining. We're going to hear from Trudell in just a moment. The Lakers' first road game of the year, first road win of the year. There's so many places we can take this big game, James. There's things to work on. There's things to be happy about. Bottom line, they got the win. Where do you want to start?
They got the win. That's where I want to start, and it was a good win, believe it or not. I mean, San Antonio, a young team, not afraid to play. The Lakers come to town. They're trying to show that they can compete, and they did. But I thought the Lakers were scrappy when they needed to be. It was a sloppy game. They had the lead. They gave up some offensive rebounds. But I thought Westbrook and AD, particularly AD on the offensive boards at the end, kind of captured the game. But you got to give Westbrook and AD a lot of props for what they did. And, it was sloppy, but we'll get the win in overtime.
I was going to say something about Austin Reeves, but I think I'll leave that to you.
Oh, because I picked him?
Because you picked him, but he came in, he played great. I thought Monk played great. We always want to harp on the big 2 since LeBron was out, the big 3. I think everybody came in, they stepped up when they needed. Some good defensive plays. Bazemore right there at the end with a drill that we always do in practice where you chase down and you poke a little loose. So it was just a great overall game for everybody. I think they needed this win, but the only thing that's kind of sticks out in my mind is that AD played 42 minutes. And then they got a game tomorrow. So it's a little too early for that.
Also had that bang knee there on that free throw. I'm sure we'll show that later. I'm glad you mentioned the other guys, because there's that lineup of Reeves, Monk, Dwight, Russ, and AD that started that fourth quarter and played about 7-8 minutes together. that was tremendous on both ends of the floor and got the Lakers back in that game. All right, Brez, where'd you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, this is what Rob Pelinka envisioned when he made the trade back in July to acquire Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he gave up 3 core players, but he wanted that third superstar for nights like tonight when LeBron James can't go. You have another superstar to team with Anthony Davis. That's exactly what we saw tonight. Did the Lakers win this game with KCP and Kuz? I don't know. And Montrezl Harrell, the other guy who went in that trade, I don't know. I'm not sure they do if it's just AD and those guys. Tonight, though, Russ really dialed it up. Easily his best game with the Lakers, kind of flashing back to him the last couple of years, be it in Houston or towards the end of his career in OKC, even last year in Washington. Those two together looked great tonight.
All right, let's go back to San Antonio. Dwight Howard is with Mike Trudell.
Well, Dwight, quite a game here in San Antonio. Down 12 to start the fourth quarter. What did you guys do to get back into the game?
Our energy was down, and we had to come out and bring some more energy. And it started on the defensive end. We had to get up, pressure the ball more, make those guys make plays and make turnovers. You know, those young guys play hard. You know, we know we're going to get everybody's best shot every night, so we got to keep our energy in the right place. And we did a good job of that in the fourth quarter. We came back and got a tough win.
So last game, LeBron's down, he gets up. This game, AD's down, he gets up. How do you guys go through those kind of emotional swings and then stay in it as the teammates?
Stay locked in, stay locked in, keep our energy, like I said, in the right place. You know, when AD goes down, we know we got to pick him up. Anybody go down, we got to pick them up, but we always got to have our energy in the right place, stay positive, and we got a great win.
Dwight, what did you see from Russ in his first road game for the Lakers here?
Well, the fact that he just keep playing hard, no matter what, no matter if he miss shots, he turn the ball over. He's always thinking about the next play. Like I said, you got to stay positive. All of us know that this is a transition for all of us. It's a learning phase, and we're going to get everybody's best shot every night. So we got to be ready for that, and that's just going to make us stronger. You know, the more we play, the stronger we get. You know, and these teams is not playing around, so later on in the season, when we have it clicking, it's gonna be very great.
Dwight, we appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate you.
Lakers really turned it around there in that fourth quarter because after 3, it looked bleak in terms of everything. Defensively, getting out rebounded, the fast break points, but the Lakers' fourth quarter really changed the momentum of that game. We got to start with the big 2 because there was no LeBron tonight. Russ and AD, they combined for 68 points, 27 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals, James. And it's something we talked a lot about in the pregame show. We led with it. No LeBron, now you get to see the chemistry with Russ and AD. You also get to see the ball in Russ's hand where he's most comfortable.
Yeah, I think Brez hit on it. Rob wanted someone that could take over if LeBron wasn't available. And I think Westbrook did a good job of it tonight. And, he had a good pace. Westbrook's kind of in attack mode all the time. And if you give him an opportunity, he's going to try to get through the rack. I thought he had some unselfish passes early in the game where he got guys shots. He got Monk shots, a couple of lobs over the top. He was just aggressive. And I think he set the tone for the team. They were able to get back to that on the defensive end. Just a special game by him tonight in the absence of LeBron.
I mean, listen, Rob, yeah, he had 1-3, had a couple of pull-ups, but most of those points were attacking, grown man style, in the rack for Russ.
Speaking of grown man style, that's one when he went, I just know he's going to get a block, and he dunks on him. So that's Russ. That's vintage Russ right there, going to the hole, dunking on people, getting to the hole, attacking, drawing the defense, and kicking it out. When Russ is in that attack mode, it's a lot easier for him to play the game. But when he's in there with LeBron, he kind of defers to LeBron. But he sometimes needs to say, hey, LeBron, I got the advantage. I got a guy who can't keep up with me. Go for it. So you love it when he's in attack mode because everybody else around him eats. He finds people. He feeds people. And people get easy buckets because the defense collapses.
Yeah, it's such a big game for so many reasons. A, the Lakers 500, nice first road win. And B, it might open the eyes of the Laker coaching staff a little bit. Like, so we can do this with him if LeBron's off the court. Obviously LeBron, a very ball-dominant player. So is Russ. So the first 3